Did you know that some of the state quarters you might have in your pocket change right now today? We're diving deep into the top 5 rarest and most valuable state quarter dollars ever discovered, could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. That's right, what started as a fun 50-state coin program by the U.S. Mint. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter Dollar, this coin, born from the first year of the legendary 50-state quarters program, has errors and varieties so rare that collectors will pay staggering amounts to own them. Some have sold for hundreds, others for tens of thousands, and the most jaw-dropping examples have reached values that push into the millions. If you think pocket change can't change your life, wait until you hear the story of this quarter. Stick with me until the end, because I guarantee, the final segment will leave your jaw on the floor. The background. The 50-state quarters program was launched in 1999 under the U.S. Mint. It was one of the most ambitious coin programs in history, running until 2008, with each state receiving a special commemorative design on the reverse of the Washington quarter. The very first year, 1999, featured the first 5 states, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. Now here's where it gets interesting. Georgia was the 4th coin released, and it instantly became a favorite. The design features the state's iconic peach, an outline of the state, live oak sprigs, and the motto wisdom, justice, moderation. Why 1999 Georgia was special? The first year of any series always creates excitement, but in 1999 the U.S. Mint faced intense pressure. They had to produce billions of coins in record time to meet demand. With rushed production, mistakes were bound to happen, and boy, did they happen. Collectors today know the 1999 state quarters, especially Georgia, for their dramatic errors. Mis-strikes. Off-centers. Clipped planchets. Double dies. And even legendary wrong planchet strikes. Some of these are so rare that only a handful exist, making them highly prized treasures. Why errors and varieties? Off-center strikes, $3,000 to $5,000. Clipped planchets, $5,000 to $6,000. Double die errors, $2,000 to $4,000. Wrong planchet strikes, $10,000 to $12,000. Record auction sales. Let's talk real money, because this is where collectors' jaws hit the floor. A 1999 Georgia quarter struck on the wrong planchet has been reported selling for over $50,000 at auction. High-grade error-free 1999 Georgia quarters, graded MS-69, have sold for several $1,000s, simply due to their condition rarity. And the rarest examples, those wrong metal errors, have been valued by experts in the hundreds of thousands to over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter worth up to $1 million. How to identify valuable Georgia quarters? If you're watching this at home, here's what you should do: check the mint mark. The rarest errors are from the Philadelphia Mint P. Inspect the coin closely. Look for doubling, clips, or strange metal coloring. Check the weight. Wrong planchet coins often weigh differently than a normal quarter, 5.67 grams. If it's way off, you might have struck gold literally. Condition matters. Even minor errors in top condition can be worth thousands. Why collectors pay so much? You might wonder, why would someone pay $10,000, $50,000, or even $1 million for a quarter? It all comes down to rarity and history. The 1999 Georgia errors were never supposed to exist. They're accidents, freak events in minting history. That makes them unique, and collectors love owning something that few others will ever see. It's the same thrill as owning a rare baseball card, a misprinted stamp, or a priceless painting. Rarity drives value, and these Georgia quarters are the rarest of the rare. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the entire state quarters program, the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter Dollar. From shocking mint errors to record-breaking auctions, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. So stay with me until the end, because the rarest examples will absolutely blow your mind. What if I told you that a simple quarter from 1999, struck in Philadelphia, could turn your pocket change into a life-changing fortune? The background. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, a historic project designed to honor each of the 50 states with its own unique design. This program ran from 1999 through 2008, and it quickly became the most successful coin release in U.S. history, sparking a brand new generation of collectors. The Pennsylvania State Quarter was the second release in this series, following Delaware. It features an elegant design, the Commonwealth statue, symbolizing the state's values of liberty and justice. Why the 1999 Pennsylvania is so special. 1999 was the first year of the State Quarters program, and the mint was under enormous pressure to strike billions of coins in a short period of time. This rush to meet demand led to mistakes, some small, some dramatic, and some so shocking that they created coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1999 Pennsylvania Quarter stands out because many of its error examples were bold, rare, and almost impossible to replicate. These mistakes make them collector's gold. The most valuable errors: off-center strikes, $2,000 to $3,000. Clipped planchets, $6,000 to $7,000. Double die errors, $4,000 to $5,000. Wrong planchet errors, $10,000 to $30,000. Record auction sales. Collectors don't just talk about these errors. They pay real money for them. Here are some highlights. A 1999 Pennsylvania Quarter struck on the wrong planchet has sold for over $30,000 at auction. High-grade, perfectly preserved MS-69 Pennsylvania Quarters without errors have sold for several $1,000s. And the most spectacular wrong metal errors have been valued at 6 to 7 figures, making them among the most expensive quarters ever discovered. How to identify rare Pennsylvania Quarters. So, how can you tell if your Pennsylvania Quarter is worth a fortune? Here are the steps. Check the mint mark. Look for the P on the front. Inspect the design. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, missing letters, or oddities. Examine the weight. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it may be a wrong planchet error. Look for odd colors. A missing clad layer will appear coppery or silvery. Check alignment. If the design looks off-center, it could be valuable. Why collectors pay so much? It all comes down to scarcity and history. The 1999 Pennsylvania errors are a perfect storm. They're from the first year of the State Quarters program. They're accidents, meaning no two are exactly alike. They're incredibly rare, with only a handful known in some cases. Collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums for these mistakes because they'll never be made again. Today we're talking about one of the most stunning and valuable coins in the entire State Quarters program, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter Dollar. With unbelievable mint errors, rare varieties, and shocking auction sales, this coin has left collectors speechless and even turned pocket change into life-changing fortunes. So stick around until the very end, because the last error we'll talk about might just make you run to check every single quarter in your house. The background. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, a 10-year project to honor each of the 50 states. Every year, 5 new quarters were released, and this program quickly became one of the most popular in American coin history. The Connecticut Quarter was the fifth and final release of 1999, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. The legendary Charter Oak, a massive tree tied to Revolutionary War-era history. Why the 1999 Connecticut Quarter is special. Being part of the first year of the State Quarters program makes the 1999 coins instantly more collectible. But the Connecticut Quarter has an extra layer of magic because of the incredible detail in the Charter Oak design. Small mistakes stood out more clearly. Combine that with the rushed production schedule of 1999, and you have the perfect recipe for rare, valuable errors. The most valuable errors: off-center strikes, $2,000 to $3,000. Clipped planchets, $1,000 to $1,500. Double die errors, $4,000 to $5,000. Wrong planchet strikes, $10,000 to $25,000. Real auction sales records. These aren't just stories. Collectors are paying real money. A Connecticut quarter struck on a dime planchet sold for over $16,000. High-grade mint state examples of error-free 1999 P Connecticut quarters have sold for $2,000 to $5,000. Some of the most shocking wrong planchet errors have been valued at 6 to 7 figures. How to identify a rare Connecticut quarter? So how do you know if the Connecticut quarter in your pocket is worth more than your car? Check the mint mark. The P mint mark is what you want. Look for design issues. Doubling, missing details, or weird tree patterns. Examine the weight. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything heavier or lighter could be a jackpot. Check for color. Coppery or silvery tones can mean missing clad layers. Inspect alignment. If the design looks off, you may have an off-center strike. Why collectors pay big money? Why would anyone spend thousands or even millions on a 25-cent piece? Because these errors are one-of-a-kind accidents. The mint didn't plan them, and they'll never be made again. That makes them scarce, unique, and historically important. Collectors don't just see a coin, they see a piece of history, a conversation starter, and a status symbol. The 1999 P Delaware State Quarter Dollar holds secrets that most people don't know about. Hidden in plain sight, these coins have mint errors and rare varieties so valuable that they've sold at jaw-dropping prices in auctions across America. Stick with me until the end of this video, because the rarest Delaware quarter error could literally change your life. You'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. The background. The Delaware State Quarter was the very first release in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, launched in January of 1999. The program was a massive success, running until 2008 and honoring each of the 50 states with a special design. But being the very first coin of the series, the Delaware Quarter has a unique historical importance. The design features Caesar Rodney, a hero of the American Revolution, riding on horseback. His dramatic 80-mile ride in 1776 to cast the deciding vote for American independence is captured forever on the coin. Why the 1999 Delaware Quarter is so special? Because it was the very first coin of the entire state quarters program. The mint was under enormous pressure to get it right and to produce hundreds of millions of them quickly. But with such a rushed production, mistakes were inevitable. And those mistakes, called mint errors, are what makes certain Delaware quarters worth small fortunes today. The most valuable errors: off-center strikes, $1,000 to $3,000. Clipped planchets, $2,000 to $2,500. Double die errors, $2,000 to $5,000. Wrong planchet strikes, $10,000 to $25,000. Famous auction sales records. Collectors have proven time and again that they're willing to pay huge money for these rare Delaware errors. A 1999 P Delaware struck on a foreign planchet sold for over $20,000. Off-center strikes in mint condition have fetched $3,000. A dramatic missing clad layer Delaware quarter sold for nearly $10,000. And the most famous wrong planchet errors are valued at hundreds of thousands, even up to $1 million. How to identify a rare Delaware quarter? So how do you know if your Delaware quarter could be worth a fortune? Examine the design. Look closely at Caesar Rodney, the inscriptions, and the horse. Doubling or distortions could mean thousands. Check the weight. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Look for color. A coppery surface can mean a missing clad layer. Check alignment. Off-center strikes are easy to spot if the design looks shifted. Why collectors pay so much? To most people, these coins are just 25 cents. But to collectors, they represent history. The very first state quarter, forever tied to the launch of one of the most popular coin series in U.S. history. Scarcity. Mint errors are accidents, and no two are alike. Prestige. Owning one of the rarest Delaware quarters is like owning a piece of treasure. That's why collectors are willing to pay hundreds, thousands, or even millions. The 1999 P New Jersey State Quarter Dollar, part of the very first year of the 50 State Quarters program, has mint errors so rare and so shocking that collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums to own them. Some of these coins have sold for the price of a luxury car, others for the price of a house, and the rarest examples could make you a millionaire overnight. So don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which quarters to look out for in your own pocket change. History of the State Quarters Program. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters Program, a 10-year series that honored each state in the order they joined the Union. It quickly became one of the most popular coin programs in U.S. history, turning millions of everyday Americans into casual collectors. The very first year of release included 5 states: Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. New Jersey was the third quarter, released in 1999, and its design pays homage to one of the most iconic moments in American history. Why 1999p New Jersey quarter are so special? The Mint was under huge pressure in 1999. This was the very beginning of the State Quarters Program, and demand was overwhelming. Millions of Americans were collecting every new release. Because of this, the Mint had to produce billions of coins at lightning speed. And when speed goes up, so does the chance of mistakes. That's why the 1999p quarters, especially New Jersey, are loaded with dramatic errors that today are worth a fortune. The most valuable errors: off-center strikes, $3,000 to $4,000. Clipped planchets, $5,000 to $7,000. Double die errors, $2,000 to $6,000. Missing clad layer, $12,000 to $15,000. Real auction sales records: collectors have paid jaw-dropping amounts for these coins. For example, a 1999p New Jersey quarter struck on a dime planchet sold for over $15,000. A missing clad layer New Jersey quarter in pristine condition has sold for nearly $5,000. Dramatic off-center errors have fetched $3,000. And the most spectacular wrong planchet errors have been valued in the 6 to 7 figure range. How to identify a rare New Jersey quarter? So how can you tell if your New Jersey quarter is valuable? Here's a simple checklist. Look for the P mint mark, found just under on the front. Check the weight. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything different might mean a wrong planchet. Inspect the color. Copper showing through means a missing clad layer. Look for doubling on Washington's face, the boat, or inscriptions. Check the alignment. Off-center strikes are easy to spot. Why collectors pay so much? Why are people willing to pay thousands or even millions for a 25-cent coin? Rarity. Errors like these are one-of-a-kind accidents. History. The first year of the State Quarters Program makes these extra special. Collector demand. Everyone wants the rarest version of the first series. When you combine those three, you get coins that can reach unbelievable values.